Hey guys, for the spirit of May the 4th, I wanted to share with you all the 3 reasons I love each of the Star Wars trilogies. Number 1, Luke, Han, and Leia. Starting us off is both the easiest and rather most complicated to explain is what can I possibly say about these 3 characters that anyone who's already watched Star Wars doesn't already know? The chemistry between these 3 feels so genuine and believable, it's always easy for me to just slip right in and to buy that these people are actually best friends. And I think that has to do with the real-life chemistry these actors had for one another while working on Star Wars. It feels to me like I could buy they were friends in these movies because they were friends in real life. And that's just great to see in any movie. When actors like one another, it just translates far better on film than actors who either don't really care for the other person or just aren't really that interested in each other. Number 2, possibly the greatest redemption story ever told. Seriously, I've watched a number of movies in my time, and I've also heard the saying that every story's been told in one way or another, so I'm fairly certain there's a number of movies out there with the same basic plot elements revolving around the hero's journey and the villain's redemption, like in the original Star Wars. However, I think anyone would be hard-pressed to find a more satisfying moment than that scene with Vader as he's struggling with the conflict of choosing between his son and the power of the dark side. In the original way this scene played out, it was always so enthralling to me, even as a young child, that I could still see the conflict of a character's face that I couldn't actually see as he looked back and forth between his child and his master while I openly cheered for him to do the right thing. Never has any movie put me in that same situation before, and it's one of the many reasons why I fell in love with Star Wars. Number 3, Chewie just being the best wingman. If anyone ever wondered what it would be like to have Bigfoot as a best friend, Chewie was probably the closest thing we'll ever get to see that perfectly represented that idea. I mean, this guy got put through so much, and he endured it all while keeping an upbeat attitude while showing nothing but concern for his friends. Honestly, it's enough to make me want to ask him who's a good boy while I give him tum-tum rubs. But I can't fully imagine that playing out very well.
Oh, really? You're cold?
Number 1, pod racing. Can we just take a moment to appreciate this amazing concept brought to Star Wars that, for some reason, was never brought up again? How did pod racing never show up in preceding movies or TV shows again? And what's so great about it is it shows us some of the galaxy's pastime entertainments that people engage in. It really fleshes out the Star Wars universe to know what other planets do for fun, the likes of which the original trilogy never really took time to explore. And the same could be said about many scenes in the prequels that are like that, taking time to have a look around the galaxy far, far away and give us an insight on what goes on there in day-to-day life. Can that slow the pacing of the story down a bit? Sure, but it's something to be appreciated, to say the least. Number 2, Ian McGregor as Obi-Wan. Aside from my personal feelings about the prequels, there's next to no one I can find that is not in outright agreement with me that Ian McGregor is hands down one of the best things to happen to Star Wars since the invention of the lightsaber and the Force. His portrayal of Obi-Wan during the time of the prequels easily made him one of my favorite characters of all time. The man did a phenomenal job, and I'm very excited to see his return in the upcoming Kenobi series. Duel of Fates. Simply me saying that it's one of the best cinematic musics to a Star Wars movie would be a gross disservice to what I am simply calling an objective fact. Duel of Fates is one of the best songs ever made in general. The Earth is round, and Duel of Fates is one of the greatest songs humanity was blessed with. And you should all be grateful to the masterful work of John Williams, the man who made the scores of 3 trilogies and hadn't made a single poor song between any of them. Number 1, acting quality. Now, removing the exaggerated nonsense of what some like to pretend is the only dialogue of these movies being just Finn screaming over and over again, in reality, everyone is bringing their A game in their performances. The anger feels real, the fear feels real, the looks of hope, happiness, amazement, and the friendships being built, it all feels genuine because these movies had great actors that put their all into their performances. And there are still lines I hear to this day that still give me chills.
Please don't go this way.
No, you're still holding on! Let go!
While even arguably cringy lines can still be applauded for their delivery despite how corny it can sound, even if delivered at ironically inappropriate times. Number 2. The characters. From the moment I met the sequel characters, I just fell in love with everything about them. I enjoyed Rey's optimistic and friendly personality, which I think flowed well with Finn's nervous awkwardness and Poe's somewhat smarmy charm, or Kylo's intensity. Honestly, it never felt like any one character was outshining the other when they were involved in the same scenes together. Whenever Kylo and Rey are in the same scene, both feel just as important as the other. Finn and Poe, just as equal. Hell, even Rose in The Last Jedi felt just as significant as nearly any of the other main characters in her story, just from how she was portrayed and how well Kelly Marie Tran played her character. And also, BB-8. I mean, do I really need to say more? If you can't find one character to love, BB-8, man. And frankly, I don't even think I need to explain why. You either know or you're lying to yourself. Come on. BB-8, man. Look at him. So cute. Number 3. The cinematography. Possibly one of these films' greatest strengths, and one that I was never really worried about knowing Disney was involved. The cinematography is flat out gorgeous. Honestly, there is not one bad looking scene in a single shot. Everything looks beautiful, stunning, and spectacular, from the planets to the battles, the aliens, and the moments that blew us back in our seats from just the visual beauty of it all. I can honestly say no other trilogy ever came close to achieving this same level of stunning beauty to the galaxy far, far away. And it's something that's inspired me to mimic in some small way in my own work from time to time. And those are just some of the reasons why I love the Skywalker saga. But what are yours? Feel free to comment below and let me know. But remember guys, in the spirit of this month, let's keep things positive. So if you can't say anything nice, don't bother saying anything at all. But what are some of your reasons to love each of the movies in the Star Wars universe? I really genuinely would like to hear them. So thank you all again for watching today's video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Have a great 4th, and may the Force be with you always.